Top 10 things only people over 30 will understand. Turning 30 feels strange, not because everything suddenly falls apart, but because things quietly start to make sense. It's the age where you realize you're not old, but you're definitely not young either. Where the chaos that once felt exciting now feels exhausting. Where late nights hit harder, priorities shift, and the things you used to chase don't matter the way they once did. Some lessons arrive gently, others hit you like a brick. You start noticing patterns in your life, in friendships, habits, money, health, and time itself. And suddenly, you understand why older people used to say, "You'll get it one day." This isn't about regrets, it's about clarity. The kind you only earn through experience, mistakes, and a few hard wake-up calls. The kind that doesn't show up in your teens or even your 20s, no matter how mature you think you are. Your 30s don't change who you are. They reveal who you've been becoming all along. And whether you're already there, getting close, or just curious about what's coming, these are the life realizations most people don't truly understand until after they turn 30. Number 10, you have far less patience for drama. In your teens and early 20s, drama feels almost unavoidable. And sometimes, if we're being honest, a little entertaining. Small misunderstandings turn into massive arguments. Friendships feel intense. Emotions run high. Everything feels urgent, personal, and world-ending. Back then, drama felt like life. But once you hit your 30s, something shifts. Suddenly, pointless conflict stops feeling exciting and starts feeling exhausting. You no longer have the energy for passive-aggressive texts, circular arguments, or friendships that thrive on chaos. Between work, bills, responsibilities, and trying to hold your own life together, emotional turbulence just isn't worth the cost anymore. It's not that you become cold or uncaring. You become selective. You start asking yourself simple questions. Is this worth my time? Is this helping me grow? Is this bringing me peace? And most of the time, the answer is no. This realization often comes with guilt at first. Walking away from drama can feel like giving up or being boring. But eventually you realize that protecting your peace isn't weakness, it's maturity. Choosing calm over chaos becomes a form of self-respect. You also become better at spotting red flags early. You recognize patterns in people who thrive on conflict and stop trying to fix them. You understand that not every battle needs to be fought, and not every opinion deserves your reaction. By your 30s, peace becomes the real flex. Life already throws enough stress your way. You don't need to manufacture more. And once you experience how freeing it feels to disengage from unnecessary drama, there's no going back. You don't crave intensity anymore. You crave stability. And that realization alone changes the way you approach relationships, work, and even yourself. Number 9, most people aren't against you. They're rooting for you. When you're younger, it often feels like everyone is watching, judging, and waiting for you to mess up. School, college, early jobs, everything comes with evaluations, criticism, and comparison. Over time, that pressure can make you defensive, suspicious, and constantly on edge. You start assuming the worst. By the time you reach your 30s, experience begins to soften that mindset. You realize something quietly powerful. Most people aren't plotting against you. They're busy dealing with their own lives, and many of them genuinely want you to succeed. This doesn't mean blind trust. You still learn to protect yourself and set boundaries. But you stop interpreting every comment as an attack or every piece of advice as an insult. You learn to separate constructive feedback from actual negativity. It also becomes easier to accept help. In your 20s, asking for guidance can feel like admitting failure. In your 30s, you understand that no one gets anywhere alone. Mentors, coworkers, friends, and even strangers often offer advice because they've been where you are, not because they're trying to undermine you. Pop culture captures this shift perfectly in shows like Friends, where characters slowly realize that growth doesn't come from constant defensiveness, but from trust, support, and perspective. You also stop assuming everyone is secretly competing with you. Success stops feeling like a limited resource. Someone else winning doesn't mean you're losing. This realization brings relief. You don't walk through the world with your guard permanently up anymore. You listen more. You react less. You give people the benefit of the doubt while still trusting your instincts. By your 30s, you finally understand. Most people aren't rooting for your failure. They're rooting for you, even if they don't always say it out loud. Number 8, changing yourself is much harder than you thought. In your 20s, bad habits feel temporary. You tell yourself you'll quit later. You'll clean up your diet later. You'll fix your sleep schedule later. There's always time, or so it feels. Then your 30s arrive, and reality hits hard. Those temporary habits, they've become routines. Smoking, drinking too much, reckless spending, poor sleep, emotional eating, avoiding exercise. They're no longer phases. They're ingrained patterns. And breaking them suddenly feels far more difficult than you ever imagined. That's because habits don't just shape your behavior, they shape your identity. By your 30s, many people realize that changing isn't just about willpower. It's about unlearning years of comfort, coping mechanisms, and excuses. Even when you know something is bad for you, letting it go can feel like losing a piece of yourself. What's worse is that consequences start showing up faster. Hangovers last longer. Poor sleep ruins entire days. Junk food affects energy and mood. Ignoring your mental health stops being manageable and starts becoming overwhelming. This realization can be frustrating, even scary, but it's also empowering. Because your 30s teach you something crucial. The best time to change is now. Not when things get worse, not when your body forces you to, but when you still have the choice. You stop chasing perfection and focus on consistency. Small changes suddenly matter more than dramatic resolutions. One good habit added is better than 10 promises broken. Your 30s don't make change impossible, they make it honest. You finally understand that the life you want later depends entirely on what you're willing to fix now. And while it's harder than you thought, it's also more meaningful. Because this time, you're not changing for an image. You're changing to survive, grow, and feel good in your own skin. Number 7, you have to make your own luck. At some point in your youth, it's easy to believe life will eventually figure itself out. That hard work will naturally be noticed. That good things will fall into place if you just wait long enough. There's a quiet sense of entitlement, not arrogance, but expectation. Your 30s dismantle that illusion. You start seeing clearly that the world doesn't owe you anything. Opportunities don't arrive on schedule. Recognition isn't automatic, and talent alone rarely opens doors. At the same time, another fear emerges: asking. Asking for a raise, asking for help, asking for clarity, asking for more. In your 20s, rejection feels personal. In your 30s, you learn that silence is often worse. You begin to understand that no isn't failure, it's information. This is where the idea of making your own luck becomes real. You learn to speak up, even when it's uncomfortable. You advocate for yourself at work. You pursue relationships instead of waiting for them. You chase opportunities instead of hoping to be discovered. You also learn that luck favors movement. People notice effort. Momentum attracts opportunities. And asking, even imperfectly, opens doors that staying quiet never will. This realization doesn't make life easier overnight, but it makes it clearer. You stop seeing yourself as the main character waiting for the plot to unfold. You become the one pushing the story forward. By your 30s, you finally understand. Luck isn't something you wait for. It's something you build. Conversation by conversation, risk by risk, and choice by choice. Number 6, sleep becomes a luxury, not a given. In your teens and early 20s, sleep feels optional. You stay up late, wake up early, and somehow still function. All-nighters are survivable. Coffee fixes everything. Your body bounces back like nothing happened. Then your 30s arrive, and sleep becomes sacred. Suddenly, an uninterrupted 8-hour night feels like winning the lottery. Responsibilities pile up: work stress, family obligations, financial worries, mental load, and your brain refuses to shut off when it's finally time to rest. Even when you can sleep, staying asleep becomes its own challenge. What really changes is how your body responds to sleep deprivation. One bad night doesn't just make you tired, it ruins your mood, focus, energy, and patience. You feel it in your joints, your back, your digestion, and your mental clarity. Late nights stop being fun and start feeling like self-sabotage. This is when you realize sleep isn't laziness, it's maintenance. Your 30s teach you that good sleep affects everything: productivity, emotional regulation, health, and even relationships. You stop bragging about running on 4 hours and start protecting bedtime like it's non-negotiable. Social plans shift too. Going out starts meaning getting home early. A perfect night becomes quiet, comfortable, and uninterrupted. And honestly, that starts to feel better than any party ever did. You also become painfully aware that lost sleep compounds. You can't just catch up anymore. Your body keeps receipts. By your 30s, sleep isn't just rest, it's survival. And once you truly understand that, you never take it lightly again. Number 5, family starts to matter in a deeper way. When you're younger, family often feels like background noise. You love them, sure, but freedom, independence, and your own world come first. In your 20s, creating distance feels necessary, even empowering. Then life humbles you. Your 30s have a way of reframing family, not as obligation, but as foundation. When things fall apart, when stress piles up, when life gets heavy, it's often family you instinctively turn to. You begin to see your parents differently, not just as authority figures or sources of rules, but as people, flawed, aging, human. You recognize the sacrifices they made, the mistakes they carried, and the love they tried to show in the only ways they knew how. For those starting families of their own, the shift is even stronger. You suddenly understand how hard it is to show up every day, to provide stability, and to love unconditionally while still figuring life out yourself. Even chosen family, close friends who feel like home, takes on new meaning. Your circle may shrink, but the bonds grow deeper. Family becomes less about obligation and more about presence. Your 30s teach you that careers change, friendships drift, and circumstances shift. But the people who truly stand by you matter more than anything else. It's not about perfection, it's about connection. And for many, this realization becomes one of the most grounding lessons of adulthood. Number 4, your health stops being automatic. In your 20s, health feels like something you're born with, not something you maintain. You can eat poorly, sleep inconsistently, skip exercise, and still feel mostly fine. Your body forgives almost everything. Your 30s change that illusion quickly. Small aches start appearing out of nowhere. Your back cracks when you stand up. Your stomach reacts to foods it never cared about before. Hangovers feel like full-body punishment. Even stress shows up physically, in your chest, your neck, your digestion. This is when you realize health isn't passive anymore. Staying well suddenly requires intention. You can't ignore warning signs and expect them to disappear. Mental health becomes just as important as physical health, and burnout stops being a buzzword and starts becoming a real threat. Your 30s teach you that prevention matters more than recovery. You begin valuing things you once dismissed: regular walks, stretching, gym sessions, balanced meals, hydration, rest. Not because they're trendy, but because they make you functional. Feeling good becomes the goal, not looking impressive. There's also a mental shift. You stop pushing your body to prove something and start listening to it instead. You learn your limits, and respecting them feels like wisdom, not weakness. Health becomes the foundation everything else stands on. Without it, ambition collapses. Relationships suffer, enjoyment fades. Your 30s make it painfully clear that nothing works properly if your body and mind aren't taken care of. It's not about perfection or obsession. It's about sustainability. And once you understand that, self-care stops feeling optional and starts feeling essential. Number 3, not every friendship is meant to last. When you're younger, friendships feel permanent. Phrases like best friends forever aren't just words, they're promises. You grow together, struggle together, and assume those bonds will survive anything. Your 30s teach you otherwise. People change, priorities shift. Careers, relationships, families, and responsibilities pull people in different directions. And most of the time, friendships don't end with drama or betrayal. They fade quietly. Texts become less frequent. Plans get postponed. Months pass without realizing how long it's been since you last spoke. And that's what hurts the most. There's no fight to point to, no villain to blame, just distance. At first, this realization feels like failure, like you didn't try hard enough. But with time, you learn something important. Not every friendship is meant to last forever, and that doesn't make it meaningless. Some friendships are chapters, not lifetimes. Your 30s teach you to appreciate people for the role they played, not for how long they stayed. You stop clinging to connections that no longer fit, and you stop forcing closeness where life has naturally created distance. What replaces quantity is quality. Your circle becomes smaller but deeper. You value consistency, trust, and emotional safety more than shared history alone. The people who remain matter more than ever. And while letting go is painful, your 30s help you understand that growth sometimes requires space, and that's okay. Number 2, financial independence stops being optional. When you're young, money feels abstract. It comes in, it goes out, and somehow things usually work out. Bills get paid, mistakes feel fixable, and the future seems far enough away that you don't have to think too hard about it. Your 30s change that perspective fast. Suddenly, financial independence isn't about luxury, it's about control. Control over your time, control over your choices, control over your peace of mind. You begin to understand that money isn't just currency, it's stability. Unexpected expenses hit harder now. Emergencies don't feel hypothetical anymore. You start thinking about savings, insurance, long-term security, and the kind of life you actually want to sustain, not just survive. This is also when the myth that money doesn't matter finally falls apart. No, money doesn't buy happiness, but lack of money buys stress, anxiety, and limitation. Financial independence gives you the freedom to say no to bad jobs, unhealthy environments, and situations that drain you. Your spending habits shift too. Impulse purchases lose their appeal. You start asking whether something adds value or just temporary comfort. Budgeting stops feeling restrictive and starts feeling empowering. You also realize how closely money is tied to self-respect. Being able to rely on yourself builds confidence. Knowing you can handle setbacks without panic brings peace. And planning for the future stops feeling boring. It starts feeling responsible. Your 30s teach you that financial independence isn't about being rich. It's about being prepared. And once you experience the calm that comes from financial stability, you understand why it matters more than flashy success ever could. Number 1, time moves faster than you ever expected. When you're young, time feels endless. Years stretch out in front of you. 30 feels ancient. 40 feels unimaginable. Life feels like it's moving at a steady, manageable pace. Then you turn 30, and suddenly everything accelerates. Weeks blur into months. Months vanish into years. You look back and wonder how entire phases of life passed without you noticing. Birthdays stop feeling distant and start arriving far too quickly. What's unsettling isn't just how fast time moves, It's how quietly it does it. One day you're reminiscing about childhood memories, and the next you're watching younger generations grow up with entirely different worlds, references, and priorities. Things you loved become retro. Trends you lived through come back as nostalgia. This realization can be frightening, but it can also be grounding. Your 30s force you to confront something unavoidable. Time is limited, and because of that, it's valuable. You stop waiting for the right moment. You stop postponing joy. You become more intentional about how and with whom you spend your time. Moments matter more. Presence matters more. Meaning matters more. You begin to value experiences over possessions, connection over validation, and memories over milestones. Life stops being about rushing forward and starts being about paying attention. Your 30s don't steal time from you. They wake you up to it. And once you truly understand how fast it all moves, you stop taking today for granted. So which of these realizations hit you the hardest after turning 30? Was it time, health, money, or relationships? Let us know in the comments. Your experience might help someone else who's just entering this stage of life. If you found yourself nodding along, give this video a like and subscribe for more honest breakdowns of life, growth, and the moments that quietly change us all.